I was going by that clock there. Okay, we're going to call to order the meeting and stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. We are scheduled to open up for the 2026-2027 electric, sewer, and general budget discussion from 6:15 to 6:30. So, privilege of the floor. Anybody have questions, comments, concerns? What do you want to know?
Well, you're the electric stuff, but you got it on there like you're gonna talk about it whenever you
Yeah,
get
we'll
to it.
get down to that. This 15 minutes is specifically posted for the budget purpose.
The general budget,
Yes,
not the sewer, not the electric.
All three.
all three. Yep.
Well, that's too bad.
What are we
There's no
proposing?
statement on the village's part regarding the budget?
Well, the budgets have been prepared. They've been discussed by the board. We have not approved them yet. We're waiting for, comments from the community about them. There are no increases in the general budget or any other rates to the community that we are proposing. So that, I guess, would be my statement.
We looked all through them, had discussions about them, talked about how we could make things like align to whatever we needed them to like net out to be. So we feel like they're as accurate as we can get.
So no raise to the sewage?
No, that was one of my main concerns, the sewer over the last 6 months. As you know, we have an aging sewer system out in our village. Septic, we're pumping. Some of these tanks have been in the ground 40 years, so we've done studies on looking at them, taking pictures inside of them, trying to determine the length of life for some of these. And our engineer came in, did a presentation a month or two ago, and was saying they're in pretty good shape. Not anticipating a lot of replacements. If that occurs, we have money in the budget to do some of that. Obviously, we couldn't do 50, but as things need maintenance and repair individually throughout the community, we do have, some money set aside to do some of those things. Over the next few months, we're gonna send out some information about how we all, as a village, can assist with keeping some of the chemicals that are going down into the sewer plant reasonable. Is it phosphate? Phosphorus is a really big issue, and we have to treat that a lot down at the plant. So there are some non-phosphorus soaps, some things you can use in your laundry, just different chemicals that if we all kind of used things that were non-phosphorus, or at least less phosphorus, we'd be able to maybe save some money in treating those chemicals down at the plant.
Would you tell us the brand names?
We will,
or
absolutely,
it's
yeah.
cheap?
We're actually trying to get samples from the manufacturers, trying to get things into the community so that we can distribute them and let you folks have them. But yeah, we'll give you name brands. We're kind of, Bob Caperso's been spearheading that for me and for us, and trying to look at those things. We've reached out to the plant supervisor, to our engineer. They've reached out to chemical companies. Can we purchase things at lower rates to process those chemicals? And we're getting good answers. So we're kind of summarizing that a little bit, and once we get all that information, I'm going to put it out for everybody. I'm changing my habits as well, because
Did that account on the groundwater that's coming into our system?
Courtney?
We did a flow study a few years back, but it really depends on the event. Like the other day when we had that really lot of rain,
It's bad.
the amount of water that went through the system went up about 100,000 gallons. It like doubled.
Well, that's surface water, right?
That is exactly.
But there's also water that follows the pipe in the ground. And that could be a large source of infiltration.
Right, we received $1 million grant from the state to go through and fix some of these lines and reduce the infiltration. And, but there's a $250,000 match required by us, which we are looking for another grant to provide that $250,000 for our match. And that would hopefully reduce, I mean, we're never gonna eliminate it completely, but if we could reduce it significantly, it would help down there a lot. It's the wear and tear of processing that much.
So the rain event, I think we had about 1.5 inches, is that right?
The big day was,
Wednesday?
the plant registered about 1.65 inches. And the day
Okay.
before was about 1/2 inch.
And how, number-wise, how did that increase the volume of the plant?
It doubled,
It doubled.
yes.
Well, how is that much surface water getting into the sewer system?
Well, the surface water, you know, seeps into the ground, and then it also goes into the pipes, yeah, I mean, that's what part of the $1 million is to figure out exactly all those things. There's very possible that people have their eaves going into the sewer system. There's possible they got a sump pumps going to them as well. So those are all things we have to find out. And it's hard to get into somebody's house and be like, hey, show me where your sump pump is pumping to, or show me where eaves are going. But that's something we're talking about addressing in our sewer law. It's like any time a house is sold, that an inspection by the village is required.
And that's part of the campaign that we're gonna push, is just making people aware that if you have some direct, you know, water pumping from like your sump pump or your eaves going into the septic system, we'd be willing to help you rectify that, or at least look at that and give you other ideas and options. You know, so this campaign that we're gonna put forward with this information is gonna include all of those ways that we can hopefully reduce the amounts of wastewater that's being, you know, pumped through the station up there. Obviously, like Courtney said, we can't, you know, intrude, but we're gonna certainly make everybody as aware as we can, you know, again, it's gonna take really all of us to keep this sewer rate down and allow us as the village to make the repairs as they happen throughout the next few years.
So it sounds as though if in fact this water isn't running in the top of the barrels, it is entirely from our system leak or taking on, whether it's the barrels or the pipe. Boy, that's huge. That's huge.
It is huge, and
That's
it's
huge.
something we really need to make stop.
I've lived here forever, and I think it's been over, 10 years ago, the village made, and this was before I was ever part of the village, but they came through and did a smoke test with my sub pump to see where it was pumping. I didn't even know when I moved in, you know, and it ended up running into my backyard, which was great, you
Yeah.
know, but I can't imagine how many people aren't even aware that it shouldn't be going into you know, your drain system or whatever it's hooked up to. So I'm assuming there's probably some people out there that may be able and willing to change that if that's occurring.
How does, I'm not gonna say clean water, but right, you know, surface water drive up costs exactly? I'm just.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything that goes through there has got to be treated. It dilutes whatever, but, I mean, it's not going to directly do costs, but, you know, there's every time, like, for instance, like, the plant didn't shut off during that whole day, right? So usually it cycles on and off throughout the day, and so there's electricity to doing that, there's wear and tear on all of that. For everything that comes through there, there's chemicals that go into the water to treat it, and then it goes through the membrane. So it might not show right now, but it's putting wear and tear on the pumps and the membranes, and all those things. And I mean, really, Chris, who's a plant operator, said like the plant didn't shut off for almost 2 days straight. That's a lot of wear and tear on all that stuff.
On the
One of the other things about it is that when they ran part of the sewage goes under the creek, right? So they went with the easiest path, and they ran along next to or under Mini Creek, so when that swells, there's manholes down through there as well. We replaced two that were in Joe's yard, and we took a video of that during a spring event, and it was just pouring in like you would not believe. And Eric Weiss did a kind of I don't know, he did some sort of study on it to kind of figure out how much gallons per minute that was running in there, and I don't remember what it was, but it was like 100 gallons a minute or something ridiculous, just pouring into.
You made Joe pay for that, right? The pipe's laid on crusher run, right? When it's installed?
Well, that's the other problem.
Yeah.
40 years ago when that was installed, it was not done properly. They just backfilled it. It wasn't on sand or crusher run or stone dust. They just dropped it and backfilled it. So whenever rocks are there or puncturing into the side, it could rupture it.
Everywhere.
And, the other question too is if there's holes in it here and there, then, theoretically, water's getting in, but water's also getting out.
True. On the electric revenue, I noticed there was in commercial rural, 24-25, it was 573. 25-26, it dropped down to 400, then came back up to 600. Why did it drop, and why did it come back up?
I forgot to print out the budgets for everybody, so I don't have them right in front of me. So I should probably go get that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pause the time.
Something came up today and I had to leave, but,
This come out of your time, right?
Yes. Yes, the time is paused.
Jerry, repeat that back, maybe.
Yeah, ask that question.
Joe, on the commercial rural revenue side, 24-25 was 573,000. Then 25-26, it dropped to 400,000. And then this year's budget, it goes back up to 600,000. So what was happening there?
It sounds like a lot of it had to do with Liberty Pumps. I would think to be that big of a swing.
Geez. that's huge.
Because they did add on another building,
Yeah,
so it would have made it go back up again, but I don't think, they're not, like most of those plants, they engineer them and they don't use the power they say they're gonna use. I know for a fact Liberty Pumps is not using the power that they said they would use. As of right now, Oxbow's not using nowhere near what they said either. They're way low, so I have the guys check it all the time. The total load up in that park, and it's really low right now.
but I mean, we were at 573 in 24.
Is that actual, or is that what was budgeted?
Actual.
I can't answer that then.
And then
I don't know where
now, and you, good point, Joe, the $400,000 figure is the budget for 25-26.
Okay, so we budgeted, but we took in more than what was budgeted, which is good.
I don't know, where's it say you did?
Well, if it says actual, then that's,
No, actual was 24-25, $573,000. Budget for 25-26 dropped to 400,000. And then this year, it went back up to 600,000.
The budget.
That's the budget, yeah. That's a 50% increase. But I mean, it just doesn't make,
Does that anything to do with the substation, Joe, or
No.
purchase of equipment or a truck or anything like
And
that?
it's commercial,
it's all
rural,
commercial. I mean, there's,
not industrial.
I don't know, there's new businesses up there that, RG&E's got their warehouse up there now. I don't know if you've seen it. They got a big yard up there, they got millions and millions and millions of dollars sitting up there in equipment. Jake up there, I think he leased out a lot of the warehouse spacing up there. So there's gonna be revenue there. I don't know, that's a Courtney question, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of stood out.
It's kind of like Norterra, it's kind of we don't have a crystal ball in front of us
Right.
to say what kind of a year you're gonna have, you know, is it gonna rain a lot? You're not, you know, you're gonna have to shut the plant down for a few days here and there, or, so you do the best you can, usually by the previous year, but sometimes, you can be way off, depending on, what kind of a growing season they have. And they're cutting down now too, they're doing a lot of energy efficiency
Yeah.
moves over there now. They don't use the amount of power they used to use either.
There's a copy of the electric. Oh, you got one? Yeah, good.
Thanks, Courtney. Sorry, we should have brought ours from last time.
You usually have them all for us, right?
Yes, I usually do, but it was looking crazy.
Thank you.
Commercial rural.
The commercial rural, the first number is, was the 2024-25 actual,
Yeah.
and then the 400,000 was the 2025-26 budgeted, so it's not, it was just a projection.
Why did it drop so? What was the?
Well, it didn't drop, that's, the actual comes in after we do the budget. Because we, like right now, we're approving a budget in April, and the fiscal year that we're in right now doesn't close till June, so we don't have the current fiscal numbers until
Oh,
done.
so you don't have the
until-
numbers for 25, 26. So we're just seeing a budget and then you're seeing a budget and another budget. You're not seeing an actual for 25, 26, correct?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just.
When will you have that figure?
The fiscal year closes in May 31st, and after we do, you know, all the bills come through, all the, you know, bookkeeping pieces, we usually have it like 3-4 months after June, so August, September.
Could you get me that number when you?
Yep, certainly. Then the current budget of 600 is just, you know, projection as well, based on the commercial rural actual of 24-25 and projection of where I think we'll be at the end of this current fiscal year. So I'm gonna go run and get the other budget printing.
Not the side stuff, just for a second. Getting back to the sewer.
Yep.
There was talk of putting it back on the owners, the sewer system, or their particular sewer systems. Is that still planned?
Yeah, so we're just exploring every option, anything people bring to the table, ideas. So the thought, I guess that, if I recall, was allowing you, the homeowner, to just own your own septic system, right? You get it pumped, you take care of it, you maintain it.
So you would get options.
Yeah, that kind of a thing. So
That sounds risky.
Yeah, that's very risky in my
And then
opinion.
down the line,
Right.
if
So
something can get screwed up.
that's on the table as a discussion as well. And we'll, you know, we would never make that decision unless that was obviously presented to the community and there was like 90% of the people, whatever, you know what I mean? So, but yes, that was also, hey, what if we did that, you know?
So what's the plan right now? The plan right now to kind of see if you can get these grants to kind of cover I mean, because to me, it's reasonable to
Yeah.
say that more money needs to go towards the septic.
Sure.
It's old.
Yep.
But is there plans to kind of look into seeing whether or not we can get it covered with grants? And then if we can't get it covered with grants and there's some kind of deficit, then say, hey, you know, we gotta raise the bill,
Yeah,
you know, a few
Yeah.
bucks a month or whatever.
yes. So, and right now, there is a reserve in there for unexpected repairs, you know, to residents. Courtney, the sewer reserve for repairs, what are we at number-wise?
So we're at 180,000.
Yeah, so we have a little monies there in case there are some needed emergency type things throughout, the sewer system and residential services. So if there, say 10 people came to us and their septic's broke, what do we could use those monies to come up with planning.
And is there some kind of deal that you have, like if you guys keep it, because you have one person that comes in and does everybody's,
Yeah.
is there like a break that you get in the cost? Like you get it for $5,000 and if we did it ourselves, it'd be 10?
Yes.
Kind of thing? So it's
Yeah,
more
so we-
cost effective for you
Yeah, we
guys
send
kind
it
of
out
keep
to
it?
bid, and I think
Every 3 years.
every 3 years, yes. We send it out to bid, and then obviously, whoever wants to bid on it, they set the proposals for what we're asking them to do. And then as the board, they decide which company to go with. Is it Call? that
Yeah,
does it?
there you go. It's just for pumping though.
Yeah, that's for pumping.
Is there still a long-term debt service on our system?
That's a Courtney question, I believe, well,
Yeah, we're still paying off bonds.
From the
Well-
80s?
from the 80s.
Well, you know how it is with a sewer plant, every 20, 30 years, you gotta put a new plant in. So,
So,
before
the
you,
original, it was back in the latter 80s, give or take?
Yep, yep.
That original debt service, I assume has been covered?
yes, I would say so, but then another bond had to be taken out,
For
because we had to redo, we got a newer sewer plant now.
Mhm.
When I
That
say
was
newer,
about 15 to 18 years ago, they did an upgrade in there,
Yeah.
and that's when they went to the.
Because there's
Yeah.
two facets of the sewer bill, right? There's the long-term debt service,
Yes.
and then based on your water usage.
yes.
According to the question was, is there a long-term debt service still due on the existing power plant? Or, I'm
No,
sorry,
sewer.
sewer plant?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how many years or?
So the main loan is $2 million, and with a 30-year loan that was taken out in 2010. So I think it's 2040, something like that.
Okay.
And that's $82,500 a year. And that one's no interest.
Okay, any other questions on the budgets, general, sewer, electric, questions, comments, concerns?
I wasn't able to spend the time I wanted to
Okay.
prepare. I assumed the village was gonna kind of go through this and review, but if there are, is it being voted on tonight?
Not tonight, no. In 2 weeks, we have a
Special meeting.
special meeting at what time?
6:30.
6:30 here. The reason I wanted to delay it is because trustee Caperso couldn't be here tonight. So I wanted to make sure that we had a public hearing, hear any concerns from the community, and then inform trustee Caperso, and then do a vote, so.
So the vote will be 2 weeks from tonight?
22nd.
And will it be on the floor to be discussed at that meeting?
Yes. That's a decision I made just now.
Executive decision. So,
Of course,
first
of
thing in
course,
power.
of course, yes. So, yeah, please review and bring any questions, or reach out to Courtney or myself in advance. We'd be glad to chat with you about anything. But I definitely wanted all the board here before we voted on the budget. That's so important. Okay, if no further questions, I will accept the motion to close.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
All in favor?
Right.
All right.
When are the minutes available for the meeting?
Courtney?
They are, I don't post them until the board approves them.
Right.
So the day after the following meeting.
So tonight, we're approving last month's,
Right.
and next month we'll approve tonight's.
You cannot get unofficial,
I I
And
can
it's out.
certainly, if you're more than welcome to my handouts.
Is the YouTube video available online?
Yes, we have the video, all meetings are recorded, and they're on our YouTube site.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna do a little bit of preliminary business, then I'll do privilege of the floor. I know, folks, it's a nice night, you probably don't want to sit around, so. First, do you folks have a chance to look at the bills? Okay. I'll entertain a motion of approval of the bills.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, approved. And then approval for the meeting minutes for March 9th, 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve the March 9th, 2026 meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Okay. And then we also had a meeting on March 11th. So I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the March 11th, 2026 meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from March 11th.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, let me see if you have the mayor's report and the administrator's reports, those types of things. All right, so we officially approve those in a minute, but I'm gonna skip that if you're okay with that, and I'll go right to privilege of the floor, and we can discuss, obviously, electric concerns and, ongoing, all of our concerns. So, questions, comments?
Okay, so in here I see that the hydro rates are increasing on the 1st. What's that all about?
Okay.
That's through the New York Power Authority, that's our preference power rates. We're in an association, NIMPA, and also MEUA. And MEUA negotiated with the Power Authority on all our systems. There's 43 systems in the association. And they, after a lot of meetings, they approved what NIPA had proposed. About a year and a half ago, the NIPA came out with the rate increases, and they were just so far offline that even the governor shot the Power Authority down. The governor is the only one who can tell the Power Authority what to do. They're not under the Public Service Commission. Their Board of Trustees answers just to the governor. So they're saying they need $1 billion to invest into the hydro plant in Niagara Falls for upgrades and just for a reliable service and all the other expenses that go along with that. They proposed it's over 6 years. It's going to go up each year for 6 years. The initial cost is, their example, I believe, was if the house used 500 kilowatt hours a month, their bill would go up about $2. So,
Are you gonna put out like a flyer or something for everybody to notify them that the next 6 years there's gonna be rate increases? Or
I believe I put that in a newsletter that went out back, might have been like in even October.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I sent a newsletter, it went out in like 1 or 2 of my newsletters
Okay.
that this was coming, April 1st, it was coming down.
And if the board approves this resolution, then absolutely, I'll be including it. All the information, as I go forward, is going to be provided to the community. Yeah, I don't know what those 6-year rates are off the top of my head or what their plan is, but I mean, this affects all of us, of course. Yeah, it'll be in our letters, and there's also the Facebook pages in the Village of Bergen websites. This is my first night.
You're doing great.
So I'm still meeting with village staff and setting expectations and, administrative goals and things like that. Part of it is better communication, more ways of communication, getting people to the board meetings to express and let us hear what it is that the residents want to know and how to let you know. So all of that is coming forward as we go. But yeah, if there's information that I can share, it's going to be shared. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So one thing I do know, or that I want to say, is the transparency for like our electric is not good. I went on all other sites, I went to the PSC website, downloaded their annual reports, downloaded all their stuff, and I literally could figure out exactly what residents were paying. You could see a complete difference between industry and residents. You can't with us.
Okay,
We are truly subsidizing the business park. We are doing it in infrastructure. There's $200,000 that went right off the bat that was supposed to be a refund to residents, went for the infrastructure, and then the infrastructure also went into our basic electric charge. I have questions about the demand cost. It looks like businesses are being charged a demand cost, but yet the demand cost is also in the P-PAC. So it's like there's a double charge there. There's a lot of discrepancies, and the stuff I just got from you the other day. I went through all that, I broke all that down by month, by person. Liberty Pumps is under commercial. Liberty Pumps definitely is not commercial. They are definitely industrial. And the only one that's industrial is 3 of them, which I think is this one over here, Oxbow, and I think there might be another one over, because I don't know the businesses around here, but anyway.
you mean Norterra?
Yes.
This one? Okay, Norterra.
So did I point in the wrong direction?
Yeah, right.
But, so they're not
Right.
classified correctly,
Yeah,
they're not charged correctly, we are not following our own tariff. There are so many violations on our tariff. I mean, if that's what we're supposed to follow, we suck, because we're not. I mean, it's at a point where I actually believe there's reimbursement that needs to go back to the residents, because we have been paying for that business park and then subsidizing their bills. We actually paid for it to be built there, then we paid for it to, now we're paying for their electric. So, and there's a lot, and I actually have stuff that I was drawing all up. There was a couple more things that I had to get for you, and I really wanna see what you guys are gonna do, because it's audit worthy. It is comp controller worthy with what I'm finding. I mean, and the numbers speak for themselves. It's not stuff that I can make up. I'm pulling numbers right out of reports, and they speak for themselves. So what has happened with the residents is totally, I mean, the way we're paying is totally unfair. I mean, we shouldn't be paying somebody else's bill. It should be just,
yeah.
And fair. And the transparency is a problem, because like, we don't even see the tariff. A lot of people don't even know where the tariff is, or how to find it, or what somebody's paying versus somebody else.
It's right on the Public Service Commission website.
Well, they don't know that. They go to look at the general tariff on our website. We're the Village of Bergen. We're not the PSC. I should be able to get on my village website and find my tariff. What am I paying for electric?
Well, you could even come here and get a copy of it.
Well,
you know.
the point is
What-
other places are all doing it, why aren't we? Let's be transparent. Let's talk about, and there's court documents that literally has made it to where it was, okay, let's not say anything about this. It can be proven in court documents that it was kept from us. So,
I don't know any of that, but you're saying a $200,000 infrastructure, what are you
yeah,
talking about?
there was a reimbursement that came, I guess there was an overcharge for NYPA. We were paying more, they didn't correct anybody, so they ended up giving back like $200,000 back in '03. It was supposed to go back to the residents. The village went to them and said, hey, can we use that to build the business park?
No.
Even in our tariff, it
That
says
didn't
that
happen.
our infrastructure is for the business park.
That didn't happen.
It's in the court documents.
I'd have to see it.
I mean, it's in writing.
I'd have to see it.
I'll show you. I'm sure Courtney can show you. It's in all them documents you sent me. It's
I was
in
here,
writing.
I was working here in 2003, so
I promise you it's there.
we didn't, I don't recall that.
But they used that, and then that was when, it's in the documents for when they decided, or they wanted to increase 19%. And that was the last analysis that was done on the village.
What year was that?
So I want to say it was '03, and then '08 they came up with the tariff. So the analysis was done, and then they went, I don't know if you guys were still going to court or what, because there were still documents coming from Niagara Mohawk.
Yeah, the last one was done in 2008.
Yeah.
Um,
But if you look in there, it's there, and even our basic electric charge, it actually says, for the business park. We were paying for infrastructure for business park. On top of the fact, $200,000 went, on top of the fact, now we're still paying for the business park. So there's a
I've never
serious
read it.
discrepancy. It's a serious discrepancy. The numbers are, and I will be sending them to you.
Do you have the page, maybe the pages are numbered, if you could send Courtney the page number, 'cause
I'll
I'd
send
have
it
to,
to
I
him.
wanna see that.
I actually used them as exhibits. I'll send you the whole, I put a packet together.
Okay.
I already broke down everything that I got from you so far. The only thing that I couldn't tie to was how many meters, because I can tell that they're getting charged some kind of demand charge, and it almost looks like Liberty isn't even getting demand charge. They're getting the charge like as if they're just a business.
No, they get demand charge.
And then when you add their numbers.
All the
up,
commercial accounts get demand charges.
so then their meter charges, and and then you got the one charge, there's like $1 or something on small business that you pay per horsepower.
Yeah.
So I couldn't figure that part out. And I couldn't figure out exactly where meters, or how many meters, even counting them up. Because if you were getting $3,200 per meter, there's 90 businesses. Or
No, this is-
90 meters out there that are being read. That would
Just
literally be more money
industrial
than we were
customers.
getting.
Those are only industrial customers that pay the 3,200, 3,201.
So they pay $3,200 no matter how many meters.
Correct. Yeah.
So that-
Oxbow, we straightened that out. Oxbow is paying 3,201. Remember, we had that talk where they have 3, they had 1.
But yeah,
Just,
that's
you
the
know,
only part that I can't
We straightened
figure
that out,
out.
they're paying the 3,201. But 3,201 is only for industrial. We only have 2 industrial customers.
Our usage, if we go by usage and we go by functionality, we got more than one, or more than 2. Matter of fact, it says we got 4 on our billing. They're labeled as industrial on billing. On your guys', I'm going off your documents, they're your guys'. I didn't make them up.
I don't know where that came from, there's only 2.
Now,
There's only
according
2
to
meter,
usage, I'm gonna
primary
say there's
metering
4.
businesses in our franchise. And it's Norterra and
What's the usage level to be considered industrial?
Yes.
it's over a meg. The thing with, not to get off that, but the thing with Liberty, they're commercial, not industrial, because the way they built the building, they built it, and when the electric infrastructure was put in, they were a lot smaller. They had one smaller transformer for their new building. Well, so the infrastructure went in, and then they started adding on. Now they added on 2 more buildings, and because the way the infrastructure, the power, the way it's comes in now, you can't switch them over to primary metering. So that's why they're
Well, if the
still,
charges are right, then I guess that's just the way they're classified because of that reason. But if the charges are right, so they should be getting the 2.7 demand charge.
well, they're
And,
paying demand.
and whatever else they're paying. And then in all reality, their basic electric charge for all businesses needs to go up. It needs not to be on residents. We're not using that power. We're not using, and the way that we use power, when you can see that we don't use it in the beginning of the year because 2 of businesses are down, they're not running. And then all of a sudden it spikes up, that is all power costs we're paying. That's our demand costs we're paying. That is not power used. That's not electricity. That's all demand cost. We're paying what we're paying because they're pulling it and they're pulling it so quickly. And then we pay that. So even though, yeah, ours goes up a little bit as residents, but it does nowhere near qualify for what we're getting charged. I mean, we're looking at $100 to $200 a bill per resident, 573 residents. A month, we're paying extra when we're subsidizing them. If we were to actually truly cut it down and make it fair. You know, with infrastructure, like even with your guys's, if they're using more of the power, you break up your administrative costs by percentage. We use 18% of the power as residents. We should only pay 18% of that cost. They pay the rest. Because they are actually putting the wear and tear on the system. We're not. So I think a lot of that's got to be considered, and I'll send it to you and let you see. But there are a lot
Okay,
of
yeah,
discrepancies with numbers as far as the demand cost too. I see demand in billing one way, and then I see demand in the P-PAC. We can't pay it twice.
Well, we pay demand on, the village pays demand too. We have to pay demand on the amount that National Grid transmission comes to us.
Right, I see that charge.
So we get a demand charge also, that we have to pay National Grid.
From what I understand, I got all those bills. I got the feedback, how it was broke down, and I got all the bills that go with it. And the demand charges are on it. Which, and if that's what was used, demand charges were charged to businesses, but yet they're still on our PPAC. Which means it's a double charge. It's a double charge of power.
Well,
We gotta make sure that what we're charging, whatever's being charged, and the way the system was set up, for the PPAC to just adjust the minor costs. Well, what ended up happening is, we got all these businesses, and now we're complete opposite. The PPAC is what pays for power, but it's power that is driven by industry, not us. But we're paying it, so it's all coming down on us. And you can see it when, when you equal it out, you can see in our revenue based on our percent.
well, the demand that all the commercial industrial account, that's all revenue for us. That's revenue. That's it, that's an
It's a power
asset.
cost.
But the ones we're paying in that PPAC charge, that's a bill that we have to pay. So one's is money coming in, and the other one is money we have to pay National Grid.
But we are a non-for-profit, we don't get revenue. We are supposed to be paying out, you get just what you need to cover the cost of running that business.
And that's what we
of running
do.
it.
That's what we do.
So the demand, if you're putting demand, if you're calling it a demand charge, which based on the tariff and based on what I'm reading, that is for demand. That is not, it's for exactly what is in our PPAC.
If you look at the industrial rate, that's why the rate is so low, because they do pay the high.
Which, again, another thing different from all other villages, all other villages are $6.56, which is, the demand rate is $5. On our PPAC, it's $6, for a kilowatt, so per $1,000. So, and they're all like $6, $6. They're paying $2, and on the PPAC, it's $5.
What villages
Yeah.
did you look at?
Huh?
I'm just curious, what villages did you look at to compare?
I looked at Holly, I looked at Fairport, I looked at, I was in all of them, what is there, there's
One western region?
Yes,
And
the ones that are the closest to us, and I
Okay.
tried to stay down with villages with
Right,
a
right.
population
Yeah,
like ours,
okay.
because you start to get Fairport and,
Sure.
they're triple us.
Yeah.
So to compare them to us is,
Yep.
Well, it's some research opportunities, thank you.
yeah, actually, I got it all in a packet, I'll send it all to you.
Thank you.
Churchill is too. But we push more power through here than they do, because of the factory.
Yeah, we're like one of the smaller ones, there's one that's smaller than us, a little smaller than us.
There's a few smaller.
Yeah, but they still, so they pay less, I think they pay less basic, electric for the residents. They're more evened out, like you literally can figure out. If you look at their numbers and then you just take 500 and pretend you use 500 kilowatts and then use those numbers, you can tell it's a balanced system. We are unbalanced. We're the purpose of doing this, or doing the PPAC and doing basic electric and having hydro is the fact that it's supposed to stabilize bills. We are completely unstable. It's like, it depends on what is going on over that business park to determine what is gonna go on with our electric bills. That's where we're at, and which is not a good place to be. It's why we're depending as residents, they got revenue, them businesses got revenue. I don't. And I'm depending on the market. Now, and that's what happened to us in January. Now we're depending on what's going on outside of Bergen. And we shouldn't be, because we have the hydro. Things should be put down where, if it goes up, a few dollars, that's one thing, but, come on, we went up a couple hundred. We doubled since last January.
Well, I
100%
know we doubled,
increase.
again,
That's unstable.
that's,
That's the point, that's
That's
the
not-
whole unstable.
they're still talking about it on the news, how these rates went up.
But-
You can't say everybody's dead.
All right, but that's the thing. It's like I tell my kids, I don't care what the neighbor's doing. In our case, that should not have happened.
No,
It shouldn't have been as bad as it was.
Blame the governor on that, it's not.
It's the way our PPACs were set up. If our P-PACs were set up correctly, where we were utilizing cost correctly and cost was allocated the way that it should be by use, the residents would, we may have had like a $50 increase, nobody would have complained. But 200, too much. It's the way we're balanced that causes that. They're pulling too much power. They're sucking the hydro down in one day. We don't even get a chance to use that hydro. That hydro's not on, we don't even get a benefit, not one little piece of that hydro. It's gone in one day from that business park. Used. Because now we're depending on supplemental. We're always dependent. We've been depending on supplemental forever. So we're making deals and bringing people in and we don't even have anything to give them. We've already used it.
Yeah, we were on supplemental before the park even got here.
But we were still on supplemental before the park got here. We were still at 5 cents. Now we're up to what? About 16? We were at 16 in
What
January.
do we, well, that's the worst year we've ever had.
But
In our history, that was the highest rate.
We
we've
can't
ever-
move forward knowing that this can happen again. Things are only getting worse
But
for us.
it goes to her point that it's
unstable.
And because
Every
the
month
industrial park,
should
now
be-
the bills are gonna be whipping over here and whipping over there, and next year it might be something else, and next year it'll be.
And Oxbow's not running still. They're not up full capacity. That is gonna hurt when they come up. So it's, and if you want your numbers, and you wanna know what's fair, I'll give them to you, because I got them. I've been in and out and all them numbers, and I can give you what a fair, I can show you what we're doing now as opposed to what we should have been doing all along as things were changing. And you can even see it as it goes through the years, things just started to change, and what we did with Oxbow and with Liberty Pumps, or I think it was last year, something had to have gone in 20, or end of 23. 24, or was that when Liberty increased? But that's when the chaos started happening. And now it's taken off to where we have to rein this back in.
So there was talk, I could have sworn, back at the meeting at the town, at the pavilion, and here, that you guys were gonna go back to PSC and renegotiate this tariff or something. Has anything come of that?
I was telling Mike, we need to find out exactly, if we can, how much Oxbow is paying in Byron for their National Grid industrial rates. I think you need to find a happy medium here where you're not gonna push some people where they're paying higher rates than National Grid, because that's not right either.
Right.
That's not right, that's not fair to them.
I don't think that would be that way, because once they get that 2.5 hydro, once that comes in, that's gonna change things a little, that'll change things for the better.
If they,
But as far as staying with National Grid, they can stay with National Grid. They are not benefiting this village at all.
no, you see my point, what I'm trying to say is the rates. How far can you put on the businesses before it's a breaking point? Where it's not fair to them.
Oh, it's fair to them. We all pay our own electric. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to me that I'm paying their electric. It's not fair to the 573 homes that are in this village. That's what's not fair to. That are paying, we are limited income. We don't have revenue. We're not selling products. We have to get up and go to work every single day, bust our butts so we can hand to taxes, hand to gas, hand to our gas in our car, and now hand to electric too. So, no,
But
that's,
this utility cannot survive with your residential rates. With the income of the residential rates, we can't function. We're bankrupt. That's why the industrial businesses get such a low rate, because they generate so much power, so much revenue through demand.
so wait, I'm confused as to how they still have to pay for their power. So how does that stop revenue?
Well, the more they use, the more
It's just-
revenue we make,
Right, well, they can use it. They can pay it.
and they do
So
pay.
that has nothing to do with us. So what we're paying of theirs, they need to be paying theirs, not us.
So I guess
I guess that's where I'm confused, is
Yeah,
how
so-
did they leave, and how does it have
and what you're
anything?
saying is valid, I just would like to see the numbers, like what you're saying is they're paying and we're paying for them and all that. I'd like to look at that. So you said you've gathered that. Could you provide that just so I can at least?
Absolutely.
At least I can comment back.
I can
You know,
hire
because I
her
don't
out
know.
for you.
I'm sorry?
I can hire her out too.
Yeah, right, I mean, we could use a consultant.
She's a
for sure.
bulldog.
I
Yeah,
mean, obviously, there's a state problem right? It's bigger than all of us, that we're having to purchase power when it's very cold from outside of the state at super crazy rates that, you know, January, February, March affected all of us, that I don't think we as the village could affect. But if there is something going on where, like you're saying, we as residents are subsidizing businesses, and I'd like to look at that, and I'd like to address
You're
that.
taking away the buffer that.
Right, I'd like to see that, so
Yeah,
let's.
and I think
let's
what
look at
happened in
that.
January,
It's available.
January just made it obvious.
Correct.
We have been doing it all along.
Right.
January just made everybody go, whoa, whoa. If
And
if
it's
things
a
are really
state-
going up the
it's
way they're
across
going up, we're
every-
screwed.
Yeah, I agree. Well, people who were on National Grid and RG&E were like in thousands. I mean, it was literally
But again,
crushable.
I don't care what they're on.
I agree.
That's not
I
my
agree.
business.
But.
I live here in the
but we
village of
can't-
Bergen.
we
I would
can't-
care about here.
We can't be isolated from all of that though either. You know what I mean? I can't adjust it to the point where we never get as residents.
No,
Okay.
but the thing is does RG&E charge them for the businesses? That's the question. Are they
I don't
paying
know.
for what they use? That's the
No,
problem.
they
We're not
pay-
paying for what we use.
The governor of the
We're paying for
PSC,
what they use.
those businesses in Fairport or wherever, they're paying a
I'll tell you,
rate.
I will break that down for you and show you
And the
how it is
demand-
way
Please.
more fair than us. It's way more fair.
If there's a way to look at it more simplistic, if there's a way to explain it, then let's do that.
Yeah,
I-
I will, I'll send you what I have.
Please do.
I'm
Yeah.
interested to see it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And we'll have a discussion about it for sure. Absolutely.
Okay?
Okay. Anything else?
No?
I really appreciate you guys' time.
Yeah, no,
Appreciate
it's
it.
good, it's
Thank
good,
you
it's
very
good
much.
conversation.
Great discussions, and if we can move that along to the point of making it more beneficial for all of us, I'm in. So
Okay,
let's do
and I
it.
will, I'll send it, and then there was, you know, if you guys are gonna look at it, there were some things that I did want from you, like I wanna know more of the meter, like what we're paying, for the meters, and like,
Like our
the
residential
data, the way
meters?
that I got the data, yeah, like how many meters we have, where are
Right.
we getting these meters, and how many of the meters do we have? And I would think that that data would be, at your fingertips, you know what I mean, to where it's organized.
You wanna know the amount per month per meter?
No, just, well, how many meters you have, because you should only have meters at 3,200, right?
What do you mean, 3,200?
They're 3,201.
Well, there's just the industrial,
The industrial, yes.
two industrials.
Your other meters, they're separated, they're separated, so I only wanna know
We're
which
not talking
ones.
residential meters.
Right,
Okay,
no.
gotcha.
I only wanna know which one, because that can be figured out, I
Yeah.
just look at residential houses.
Right.
Because it's hard with the commercial, because when you do small business, general business, it's hard to separate them two.
Right.
And they actually are right in the middle, they make out well.
Like even H&K across the street, he pays demand too. Commercial account. He
Yes,
pays-
he pays them in, but does he have, if he paid, that doesn't mean so if he's paying demand, is he paying that much for his meter?
The 3,200?
Yeah.
No, just
All right,
the
that's-
industrials.
That's
Pay
what
that.
that's,
So,
because that's the thing. It's, if you're not paying for a meter, you don't pay demand, according to our tariff.
What's that again?
If you don't pay demand. If you don't.
No, you still pay $1.60 a month for your meter.
Right, but the point is, if they're not paying the 3,200, and they are not, what is it, a PC3? They're not a PC3. They're a 2, which means they don't pay demand. And this is what, there's a lot of tariff problems here. We're not following our tariff, right? Because the P1 is residential, we pay $1.06 and then 4 cents and some change
4.79.
for our usage, plus whatever the P-PAC, for whatever is left over that wasn't covered by our basic electric charge, P-PAC, which it doesn't work that way in our case, but is how it's supposed to be. Then your commercial, which that one on the top of my head, they pay the $1.60 for the meter, then they pay, it's like, what, a 1 cent or a penny or a dollar. They pay $1 for extra horsepower, I don't know what that means.
We tried to get that out in 2008, and then PSC wouldn't take it out of there for some reason.
Yeah, so that, it's that, but they don't pay. They don't pay the 3,200 and they don't pay demand.
They do
And
pay
then you
demand.
go to-
That's what that KW is. You get one less, it says less 1 horsepower on there,
Right.
right? They pay demand. All the
I don't
commercial
think the
accounts.
math,
They all pay
That adds
demand.
up. But yeah, so they're not paying, it's not on a demand charge on their tariff. And then the 3,200, whoever's paying a 3,201, whoever's paying for those meters are paying demand charges.
Okay, well, like I said, they're all paying, all commercial accounts pay demand.
We're charging them.
We're charging demand.
We're charging them demand.
Right, and then the P-PAC gets demand too, which
That's
is a double
different.
charge. It's the way, it's the way it's worded. It says demand. Demand
Okay,
is demand.
that's what we have to pay the village to National Grid. It's got nothing to do with.
That is in our P-PAC too. I have those.
Of course it is, 'cause
I have those, right,
It's
so I'm
part
paying
of
it
their,
too.
we have
If
to
they
buy
already
the
paid it, why
power,
am
we
I
have to
paying
pay
it?
for the transmission to get it
And
here.
they're paying it twice.
You have to pay for, the Power Authority power we buy, all those are in the PPAC.
Right,
And that transmission charge, the demand is on there for that. We have
Right.
to pay that to get the power here.
right, and then you guys put it in the P-PAC, and then it's also on customer bills. That is a double charge. We can't put power costs in
Well-
the basic charges and then turn around and put them in a P-PAC too, because you're charging twice.
No, we're not charging twice. We're charging you once for it.
Well, let's see the
It's
information.
no different than using National Grid lines to get the power here. We have to pay that power, that goes in the PPACs. So everybody's paying that too.
Right,
Same as the demand. That's part of that National Grid bill. So that gets put into the PPAC also, and the customers, yeah, it gets shared over the whole rate body. So
right, but then they pay it in their bill.
that portion of it, yeah. But
No,
it's-
so everybody pays it in the P-PAC.
Yes,
The whole bill goes
Yes.
into P-PAC,
yes,
gets divided by everybody.
yes.
Then a charge goes on the commercial, all the commercial businesses, and they get charged demand.
Right.
That is a double charge.
Yeah, but you're not paying that, they are.
But regardless, we
It's
can't do
revenue.
it. It's wrong.
No, it's not wrong.
Yeah, yes, it
It's
is.
not wrong.
You can't
It's
charge
revenue.
demand
That's
twice.
why their rates are less than residential rates.
Right, but then you need to take it out of the P-PAC.
You can't take it out because you gotta pay National Grid that money. It's a charge that we
You're
have to
collecting
pay.
it through your customer bills.
Yes, we are. No different than everything else in the PPAC.
Right, which means you can't put it in a P-PAC. If you're collecting it from your commercial because they're the ones using it and you're collecting it, see, if you did that and stuck to that and kept it all away from us, and did transmission costs and the ISO costs and all that stuff was in them customer bills, and the P-PAC was left where it was just usage, we wouldn't even have noticed we had an issue. The problem is we're paying all those costs too, because it's going into the P-PAC after they've already been charged. They're getting charged for demand. Then it goes into P-PAC and we get charged, which they get charged again, because they pay part of that P-PAC too. So they get charged twice.
Well, let's look at it.
Yeah, you're giving me a great education, thank you.
Yeah.
I will bring it all in here and sit down with all of you.
As we're discussing, I really would like to look at where that's coming from. So
Yeah.
let's- if you would be willing to provide us with at least some of that information, that would be a launching point, and then obviously we can do some more research and try to gather this, because I'm trying to follow, and it's.
I know that's what he says, he's like,
Right.
I can't even follow what
Yeah.
you're saying. It's a lot.
It's very involved.
It's a lot, and
And I'm curious where your background from this comes from. Is it just from digging because of this?
I got an
or-
accounting, a business management, and nursing degree.
But have you
And-
worked
and
in
computer science.
municipalities or in
Yeah, I know, I
electrical?
worked in, I worked with him, but I did some of the accounting there.
good.
So, no, I just, when I'm into something, I just dig.
You just dug in and looked in. Okay,
Keep
that's
digging, but
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Okay. No, it's
Yeah.
good, it's good.
it's gonna be an educational journey, I appreciate it, we look
Okay.
forward to it.
We'll send it.
Where it ends, I don't know, but we'll go there with you, so send us what you have.
Okay.
You know, and we'll go from there.
All right, we'll let you guys do your thing.
And Joe, thank you for your help.
Yes.
As a trustee, I just want to see if we can keep it as fair as we can for everybody involved.
Sure.
I don't want to
Well,
kill
sometimes
them, and I don't
new
want to
eyes
kill
are
the
good.
residents, I live here too.
And just sometimes new eyes are good. It's just, we get so in the same way of doing things, and then every changes start
Right,
coming,
right.
and then nobody picks up on the old way, that it's still like stuck in
Yeah.
there.
Well, we need accountant's eyes for sure. You guys look at all the numbers and lines, that helps, so.
Yeah,
I'm a big picture guy, I'm not that little, so, yep, Bernadette's got an accountant, it's true. So, we'll get there. send over to Courtney, send to the village office, he'll pass along to us, and we'll go from there.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Sounds good, guys.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
night.
Have a good night.
You too.
I gotta sign, did you sign for me?
Okay, do we need to close privilege of the floor, or we don't?
No.
Okay, we'll move right on. All right, report to the officers. So mayor reports, everyone have a chance to look at it? All right, so really, the grants stayed the same from what Joe presented last month. The first, under miscellaneous, the first bullet point is site work will be scheduled as equipment arrives and weather permits. I don't believe, Joe, we've made any progress yet, we're waiting.
I'm happy to report
Okay.
that I did get a call, and supposedly they've got another transformer ready to be shipped.
So 2,
And it's the other 10 MVA, which is the
Beautiful.
one we really want.
and we're hoping to ship them both together. to
That's not
get
gonna
ship-
happen.
The
At
shipping
this point,
costs.
I told them just to ship it,
Okay.
just to get it in-house, because
Yeah.
right now, if something was to happen to that one transformer, we're dead in the water.
So we need them.
So I feel a lot better having the other one in-house, and who knows how long it's gonna be to the other one.
Okay.
So, I did get a hold of Nick, and I gave him Nick's phone number to call him when they're, at least a week in advance, so that Nick could schedule the crane
Okay.
and
Coordinate all that together.
coordinate that, yeah.
Okay. Joe's agreed to, over his term here, kind of be the point person for this electrical upgrade and stay on kind of this information for us and I mean, he's got 45 years of experience working and, I mean, the information being thrown around is mind-boggling to me, so I really appreciate Joe staying on board and want to congratulate him on his victory as well as Bernadette, so. Your vision for seeing things, both of you, really does improve the board, so thank you for both staying.
We do have a meeting Friday
Yep.
with Norterra,
Norterra. Mhm.
so let's go over some of the electrical issues.
Yeah, so the village asked Norterra to upgrade some of their conductors, is that right?
Capacitors.
Capacitors, for flux capacitors.
Yeah.
Right, so they are meeting with us at 1 o'clock on Friday, Courtney, Joe, and myself, to discuss how they're going to provide that upgrade in their time framing and let us ask questions, so that'll be good. So they'll have good capacity over there, reduced,
Improve the power
improve the power,
factor.
so that'll be going on. All right, so
Okay.
I'll update next month how that went.
Okay.
Right.
What was the resident's name?
Carolyn Smith.
Oh, okay. And I would be really interested when she sends it to come in and go over
That'd be
it with
great.
you guys too.
Yeah, love that. We're gonna get it in your hands, so at your leisure, on a Friday night, you're gonna be able to look at it. Whatever she's going to
It's
provide.
interesting. I was wondering if maybe she worked in a company that evaluated those kind of things, or if she just started digging.
Probably, it sounds like she started digging. I mean, you get a
Yeah.
$700 bill when the last one was 2.
Yeah.
It makes people
Yeah.
concerned.
Yeah.
I think the presentation by, what was his name? Came in from Jim was excellent, provided great information that I felt, was valuable. But, some questions remain about the vision of residential versus industrial and commercial. So that I don't know anything about, but we'll be willing to look at it.
Yeah.
And then just finalize that, I suppose, and put that to a finale. Okay, Joe and I attended the Strengthening Genesee County Fire and EMS Services presentation on 3/31. It was Genesee County Emergency Management and pretty much a representation of all fire departments within Genesee County and EMS representatives. The county manager was there. Other folks, there was an article in the Batavian, if you want to read about it, just last week. But it's really about the deficits that all fire departments have in volunteerism and the county, I don't want to say county because it's not county driven, but a unified plan from all of the fire departments of how to improve and increase fire protection Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So they proposed 2 different options to the folks that were there. It looked like the options basically were staging two I'm sorry, 3 paid firemen in the west, 3 in the central, right, Joe? 3 in the east. Paid firemen with equipment that could respond to the, say it was in the west pavilion, Leroy Bergen, right? They could respond to an emergency 9 to 5 throughout the day and have coverage when volunteers are working, right? So, and that's been the problem, is when an alarm goes off, there's nobody available to respond, right? So at least there would be some coverage, and then perhaps the central could overlap into those other areas if it's large, you know, and something massive's going on, and mutual aid from other agencies can't come. So they're proposing options for that. Now they talked about next steps and what to do, and there's future meetings, but at least the proposals were out there, and then they're gonna start making these things public. They wanted everybody who's a stakeholder informed first, and then they're gonna start some, you know, some community presentations about what to do. It's gonna cost, you know, like between $1 and $2 million. So how are they gonna raise that revenue and figure that out? But at least it's being talked about. Summer concerts, any questions on that? Okay. Summer concert series, we have the dates, we have the bands, so mark your calendars if you want to come, that would be great. 6:30 to 8:30 are the concerts. We're going to be asking food vendors and trucks and whoever, if they, you know, just let them know we're doing it. If they want to show up, it'd be great to do it. Do we have the folks that did the food truck from our farmers market this year? Do we know? Have we heard from them?
Supposedly they are still coming to the farm market.
Okay,
Yes, they
I'm gonna
are.
propose that they come to this.
Okay. They would like that.
Yeah, he's loves our village, so
Mhm.
I'm sure they would be out here every week.
Yeah.
I've had a couple folks just email me here, is there gonna be food, is there gonna be beer?
Yeah.
You know, I guess that's a topic. What do we do in that sense? Do we tell people it's bring your own beverages, or do we have an ordinance?
Yeah, I think normally it's bring your own.
And that's okay?
Instead of your drink beer?
Yeah.
Just no glass?
That's, 'cause yeah, you can, it's
The
allowed,
park-
you can drink,
it's
you know,
allowed in the park
alcohol's allowed in
grounds,
the
yeah.
park. Other events, they bring in trucks,
Mhm.
and those trucks have their own liquor license, and
Right.
so I mean, that's always an option.
Okay.
But,
Good, all right, so that's the plan. I'll be working with Renee and Barb about, they're great about inviting people, making sure we at least have options up there.
And the Legion usually does burgers and hot
Yeah.
dogs,
Mhm.
and, what's her name, Trish does the cookies.
yeah.
On concert nights, this all
Mhm.
usually happens?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and pizza from Ralph and Rosie's is there.
So let's make it as big as Barnard out there. You ever been to Barnard? Pretty good out there. Okay, and then I just put in there, looking forward to the start of the new term. Really, what my focus is on what we discussed tonight is completion of the electric substation over the next few years, electric rates and fluctuations in management. I knew that was gonna be a big topic. That's something that's obviously we're gonna be working on. Continued improvements to Hickory Park with the grants. You'll see that in minutes. And then really looking into the sewer systems and presenting that information to the residents about, you know, the chemicals and how we're managing our pumping and all those kinds of things. So a lot of documentation information is going to be coming out. I'm also wanting to do a survey about ways village residents want communication. Facebook and the village website is what we're using right now. For special meetings, Courtney's going by law and posting where you have to and things like that, but I'd like to expand that to a few more options. I don't know if it's Instagram or whatever people want. So I'm gonna do a survey, pick the top 3, and make our information more available to folks in the community in that capacity.
That's
Make
a good idea,
sense?
yeah.
Okay. Because people are communicating in much greater ways than I do on Facebook, so, which is the old way, right?
Courtney, who oversees our website?
I do.
Okay. Because Carolyn's correct, I have seen other people's tariffs on their website.
Courtney and I have had this discussion as well, about improving our website. And maybe we have to hire someone that can revamp it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, but I'm willing to, we all should be willing to really do that, so, make it good, make it really friendly and usable and, you know, those kinds of things, so we'll come up with a plan for that and present it to all of you, and you guys can
Sounds good.
have input. Okay, Courtney?
You all seen my report. He asked me, we talked about the water leak before. It's been discovered and stopped. I guess it's like the third or fourth water leak in completely different random places in the last few years. I swear that sewer plant's cursed. You joke that it's on, it's like, it's on Indian burial ground or something.
We gotta send someone up and
Yeah.
do some kind
Maybe
of
have a
blessing on
blast
that
or
place.
something, exorcist or something. So that was taken care of. The Office of Aging will be here tomorrow. They were here
Last week, yeah. How'd that go?
Well, they only had 2 people come in,
Okay.
which is not great,
Right.
but she said that the most they've ever had coming out to a municipality is 6.
Okay.
So they're coming out tomorrow, so it goes along with our advertising for it.
Right.
Hopefully they get some more people.
And that's another reason we want better communication, more information earlier in the process, those kinds of things. Not that anybody's doing it bad or anything like that, it's just, I think, from what I'm hearing from all residents, is they're hungry for more information, so we're gonna make it
Yeah,
available.
and we've tried different methods in the past,
Yep.
but we just, it's so hard to
Right.
get it in front of people.
And I do see all the posts that you guys are doing, you know.
You asked about you had a question about the bill of the earmarks grant. I mentioned there's 3 earmark grants that we applied for, we declined for 1. Hoping on the other 2. We really need that $250,000 to match the $1 million grant. We're doing all the paperwork and there's so many grants right now, there's so much behind the scenes, just providing information for the, like CERTA, NBRC. It gets confusing, so confusing. But luckily we have Municipal Solutions to help us. Without them, there would be no way we could do it. Some of these grants are so big and the paperwork is so overwhelming, that unless you know what you're doing. Even just the other day, I had to go on the website to look at a recommendation that the Northern Borders put on there, and to add Jeff at Municipal Solution as a user. There was just, it's just completely unfriendly, I just had no idea. But so I emailed to the person at Shauna at Municipal Solutions, and she knew exactly how to do it. Just like that, she had it done, and Jeff had it. It was like that. So instead of me just sitting around there for half an hour trying to do it, it's just so wonderful to have them.
That's really nice.
We're searching for a lead counselor for the summer rec program. Evie's not able to do it, they can't do it this year. She'll be able to do it next year. So she's doing all the prep work and getting everything ready. And she has a calendar to me. She has permission slips to me. So she's getting all the background ready. We just need a lead counselor. She has 1 recommendation. We've got to see if that person is available. So we're still working on that, but as of right now, everything will be the same. It'll be June 29th to the August 1st, something like that. Besides that, little things, the library in the park, we're gonna remove the library in the
Okay,
park.
it was pretty-
Oh,
and
really?
move it
Yeah.
to the DPW for repairs.
It got damaged by what?
Well, we winterized it. Before we winterized it, the door hinges were coming off. That's just like an ongoing thing. The doors won't close properly. The big heavy wood doors with glass, it's homemade. The way we have it, if the door's open a little bit, the wind catches it and puts the door open, takes it off the hinges. We don't know if it's that or vandalism. It's just an ongoing thing, and we've used a number of different things, so it's getting, you know, all the screws is chewing up the wood. I want to do it in a way where we don't have to put hours and hours and hours into it every year. So they're gonna take it back, kind of rework it. We found some really, really heavy duty hinges, and then I want to, it's gonna cost a little something because it probably make the pad wider. But I want to turn it so it faces, the front faces the track. So when the wind blows, it's pushing it instead of flipping the doors.
Was that a part of the park survey at all? Like, are people using it?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
people use it quite a bit.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, it's
Okay.
really surprising how much they use it. And even the little one across the street gets used
Okay.
quite a lot. Yeah. Even in proximity to the regular library, you can just go there and grab books, so.
And can anyone put books in there?
Yeah.
And anyone can
Yeah,
do books in?
yeah, and that's probably, Renee has to go a few times a summer to take books out and kind of sort through them to, you know, see what we want in there, what we want to get rid of, because, you know, they're coming in and out.
Right. That's good.
Sometimes there's way too many.
It's worth investing in, I think.
Make sure nobody slips anything in there that shouldn't be.
Right.
Courtney, back to the sewer department, what is the MPR building?
That's where the membranes are.
Oh,
for the
okay.
building. Yeah, the pits, the
Yeah.
membrane, the cartridges. Yeah, it's spelled, it should be MBR, not MPR.
Yeah.
About 1,000. But I do want to apologize for not having the budgets turned up and stuff. I will have nice bound copies for you at the next meeting. You just heard it in time. My mother called me, had to go to the ER. So I was gone for most of the day.
I feel kind of bad that you have to keep printing them every time we come in here. We should just bring them with us when we come back.
Maybe we can have folders and we can leave some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, maybe there's a way that we can have some
Mhm.
trustee
Yeah, we can
folders.
have,
So I take them
Yeah.
home, set them down, and either throw them away or whatever, but
Yeah, like, have those little
Yeah,
things there,
yeah.
we can do a mail, you know, we can have
Do a
one
mail
for each
slot
mayor.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Each,
maybe just
something for
inside
work.
that door or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That'd be good.
Mhm.
Put stuff in there.
Okay. Any other questions for Courtney? Good. And the ZEO report. Any questions on that report?
Nope.
Okay. No questions, I will entertain a motion for.
I'll make a motion to approve the mayor, administrator, and CEO ZEO reports.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Pass. Okay. Trustee concerns, Bernadette?
Oh, excuse me. I've been watching the drainage on Munger Street when the rain is really heavy. It's bad. And then I think we talked earlier just about, I don't know, that dirt bike or whoever that person is that is flying around. Loud. But I haven't seen it. I just
Right.
keep hearing it. It's loud. Like, it sounds fast, but maybe it's not fast and it's just loud and whatever. Okay,
It's
and
both.
then.
It's just like a little sport bike. Like I said, I saw him go by my house about 45, 50 miles an hour on a vertical wheelie going towards a bowling alley.
Yeah,
I
so
wonder
we'll
if-
just keep our eyes out.
Yeah, I
and
wonder
watch.
if that's, the guy who lives up by the cemetery up in there, in the back. I know he rides motorcycles.
No, it's not him.
It's not him?
No.
I mean, he's a good guy, I
Yeah,
guess, but I know he
said I
likes,
saw this bike parked someplace and
Okay.
I'm trying to jog my memory as to where I saw it parked.
I would have a conversation with them, go to their home if we can find out who it is,
Okay.
before I tell them we're gonna be letting law enforcement know.
Oh.
So, that would be great. Anything else, bring it up? Okay, Joe?
The only thing that comes to mind are these potholes out here.
Yeah, it's,
I got a call about 3 nights ago Guy in a brand new Cadillac,
Mhm.
blew his tire out, brand new Cadillac, he had to have it towed.
Yeah.
Blew the sidewall right out of the car, 1,800 miles on his car.
Oh my gosh.
And,
That's
so he wasn't happy.
Thing.
so I did give DOT a call, and, they told me if I could get his number, which I had it on my phone, so I did call him back. He could file a form for damages to the state. So he was happy to get that, so.
Oh my-
But they're aware of it, and the holes still stay out there.
And they're growing bigger and
That
bigger.
one's in the middle of the intersection over here, you can see the gravel in the bottom.
That's the one he hit.
Oh.
That's the one he hit.
Wow.
My truck, I had the exhaust had started to get a little bit loud, but last night, every night after work, I come here and turn right, and I try to avoid that pothole, but it's really difficult, and there's a car coming, so I couldn't straddle it, so I hit that, and it just,
Solid.
and there goes my exhaust. And
Oh.
now my exhaust is sheared off, and it's loud.
The villages are allowed to throw a little asphalt in there or anything,
Eric was saying he was gonna throw something in there.
But it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
And DOT will not be happy about it,
Yeah.
but, I mean, it's bad.
And you can't put a cone up or anything, that
Well,
just works?
At your, after the,
or meeting?
No.
the swearing in.
It's right in the middle of the lane,
Somebody,
pretty much.
I'm not sure, you guessed, I'm not sure who they were.
Hit it.
No, they were talking about, they were sitting there, they could hear it, they thought it was thunder.
Oh.
But it was a tractor trailer
Hitting.
driving through there, and it just shakes everything and rumbles. It was loud.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all day long, you hear kaboom.
I'm not opposed to a little asphalt in there. I'll take the heat if DOT wants to yell. Okay. Todd, are you done, Joe?
The only other thing I would recommend is setting up another meeting with the sheriffs. They usually come out here
Okay.
once a year and meet with the mayor, and we can go over anything that you want to talk about.
Joe Raff,
Yeah, as far as patrolling.
I see him weekly
Usually,
anyway, so.
the sergeant comes out here, I believe,
Yeah, he
It's
will.
how,
Yeah.
or Friday.
Friday,
Yeah,
yeah.
Friday.
So I would recommend doing that.
Thanks, Joe.
That's all I got.
Todd?
Can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay. And then for me, as I was a trustee, I found that there were a couple missing grates over here with a wide open hole and all that, and reported it, and the guys got right on it and repaired it. And it looks like one of them lipped up from a snowplow, and it, would take out a bike tube or something like that, so they were able to kind of knock that down. So as you guys are wandering around, you see those things, let us know. Our crew's right on it, they're great. Okay, new business, resolution 4 of 2026. Has everybody had a chance to review this? Courtney, do you wanna, or Joe, do you wanna just, little synopsis?
Well, yeah, again, like I told Carol, this was brought about by the Power Authority. They need $1 billion to invest. They haven't had a rate increase, I want to think 11, at least 11 years. So,
Is this increase more than just the meetings? It's everybody the power authority provides power to.
I would say anybody they,
I
provide.
just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah. It's not just the MUA members, the NIAP members are also, we're in on those negotiations, and so it's not just our association who said, yeah, we're okay with this, the other association also worked on it and approved it, so this is what they came back with for us to, all the systems to vote on. So, I mean, simply put, if you don't want to sign it, then you would have to sue the Power Authority, okay? And I don't think we're gonna do that.
No.
So, and, I understand they need money to keep up their infrastructure for reliability, and so this was passed by the trustees of NIPA, and then there was a public hearing on it, and then the associations, voted to pass it, so.
Well, and hydro keeps us in the black, so you know, if they, like everybody, they're gonna have to maintain, keep that up as well, so.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
know, I mean, it's, without hydro, I don't know how we even power New York. So, any questions, comments about it?
So, are we just agreeing to this, and
What
then,
this-
does that mean we're funding something, or we
No.
don't know? It
This-
just gives them the ability
The
to charge
cur-
us?
The current contract ran until 2040. So they want to open up that contract so they can put this rate increase into it, because those 2040, those rates were locked in until then. But now they're saying, you know, they can't function, so they need the extra revenue. So that's why this is like an amendment to the
Just allow them to
contract,
increase?
to our
rates.
preference contract. So all the system side, you know. sign
So
off.
will this affect residential rates?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know about how much?
As I said, 500 kilowatt, the example the power authority gave was, if you use 500 kilowatt hours per month, it would be about $2 for the first year.
What is the average residential kilowatt per month, do you know, like range?
Man, I don't know.
Do you know what
Mine's a
yours
lot
is?
more than that.
Yours is more,
Mine's
like
at least
thousands?
1,000, 1,500.
Okay, so
So
you're
it's like
looking at,
$5?
so you're looking at a
$6
$6
for
rate
myself.
increase. Okay.
But it's gonna increase over 6 years. It's gonna go up, you know, incrementally.
Oh, this is that thing, okay.
So if we opted out of this and said we're not gonna do this resolution, we would, and this is just hypothetical, would they not let us be members of the MEUA or NIPA, or is this just you need to do it or else they can't provide the power and they can't function and everybody loses? And is there an answer to that?
You'd have to get a lawyer involved.
Okay. All right.
Basically, this is a, just procedural, like, it's already a done deal.
Right.
With the association.
Mhm.
If.
So they're asking all their members to do this?
Right.
Okay.
To make it official, so
Okay.
that it's not, if we say no, then it's still gonna happen, because the majority of the organization already said yes.
Yes.
So, you know, majority rules and gonna happen.
Yeah. I asked Jim what, I said, well, what happens if we don't sign it? He goes, well, you have to get a lawyer. And I said, well, why would we get a lawyer? Why would the MUA? Because we're the ones who negotiated it,
Mhm.
okay? On behalf of all the membership.
Right, right,
Uh,
okay.
So this is one of those things I don't really, it's not feeling like we really have a choice.
Maybe done.
No.
Huh.
And it's unfortunate because, like, 90% of the things that come through the board is, you have no choice.
Right.
And it's,
Yeah, we're working on what's mandated to us,
Hmm.
you know, and trying to keep our heads above water. So going back to that question that they had about open communication to the residents, is there somewhere where this, over the 6 years, where these rate increases are listed that we can actually
Yes.
put up? All right, so I would ask Courtney if there's a way that I could get that so I could put it in some information.
In the emails they sent us.
Yeah, because I would like to put, I know you did put that out, Joe, but I don't think we have the 6-year rate increases. And
I didn't list all 6 years, I don't
Right.
think. I just put April 1st, it was gonna be going up incrementally over 6 years. I think it was in 2 of my newsletters.
It was. As soon as I can get it out for 6 years, then I know I'm,
Yeah.
I've done what needs to be done. So that's good. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we, okay, the New York Power Authority purchase agreement, resolution 4 of 2026.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Passed.
None of us really wanted to make.
I know.
no.
You're gonna have a lot of those.
Yeah, no choice.
Okay, the community clothesline presentation, folks are not here, so I'm gonna move on. Park master plan update. All of you have been given this park master plan update, kind of worked on extensively by our Parks Committee and all the folks that are involved. I'm going to ask you to take it home, look at it, kind of review it. There's a lot of information in here, including survey information. Courtney provided this to you, the survey. Do we only have 2?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna give that to Bernadette then.
Yep.
Oh, I did.
You
read
have
that.
one?
Yeah.
Todd, do
Oh,
you
there's
have-
one here,
I've got one.
Do you have one? Okay.
Bernadette, you see the red, that's the new stuff,
yeah. Oh,
okay?
okay.
Or,
And this is just proposed language, and are we gonna have to accept it?
Yes,
Or is
we-
this just what it is?
we'll
will-
accept with this new language.
Yeah, we will have to vote on this.
Oh,
So I did, was this, and I, forgive me, Courtney, was this sent in the email to the trustees?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll remind Bob to take a look at this as well,
Yeah.
any returns. And then we'll put it on the agenda for next month to discuss and vote on and review. Is there anything you want to share right now, Joe, or even Todd, you're on the committee?
No, we've gone through it pretty well. Again, you know, it's been a lot of years since it was updated, so. We made changes here and there, and
This will help us
It's-
get grants, this will
yeah,
help us apply
it's-
for more monies, this will help us
Mm.
with planning for all the future things we want to do.
you can see how far we've come.
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
With all these completed, you know, we've
Yeah.
come a long ways. This committee does a great job.
we've completed, we've done a lot.
Maybe certainly exceeded what our expectations
kidding?
were when we
Yeah.
first drew all this up.
Yeah, a lot of things came together in the right time for, you know, the grant for the gazebo,
grant, yeah.
the work that the
The guys
DPW
did.
can do, you know, happening to come across a auction that had like lamp posts,
Right.
all that stuff.
Really beautiful, so I love it.
So take all that information, review it. If you haven't done the survey, are they still taking them, or?
Can we,
Yes.
would we be able to vote on this at the, 2 weeks from now?
That's up to
I'm,
the mayor.
I'm fine with that.
Because I think we need, sooner the better to get
This
this
has
in
gotta
for
get-
our grant
I
application.
mean, I'm
Yeah.
open to
I
a
agree with
vote
that.
tonight, but I'm just thinking maybe Bernadette wanted some time, but if you guys would feel comfortable voting on it, I'm comfortable with it. I wasn't sure that I wasn't aware that there was time constraints on it, so.
So do you want to vote on it in 2 weeks or not?
I'll let you.
That's up to you. If you're not comfortable,
If
until you
you're not
look at it,
comfortable
we'll do
doing
it
it
in 2
tonight,
weeks.
then we'll do it in 2 weeks.
If you're okay, then we can do it now, however you're comfortable.
So I wouldn't mind doing it now, but I haven't looked at it, so I need sort of like a background. Is this something that villages are required to do, is have this master plan?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just one of the requirements of the village?
It's one of the committees that,
And
the
then
village
there's
has.
okay, then we have a committee, it's a parks committee.
Mhm.
and then
tree and park committee, yeah.
Okay, and then they created this master plan in July of 2023, and now we're just proposing.
Now it's been
changes to it.
It was updated in 2020.
Right here, it says revised April
Revised
2026.
today,
So
yeah.
adopted in 2023 and
Mhm.
revised 2026. All the red is the revisions
Mhm.
in there, all for,
But like, for instance, where it shows things that were completed, does
Mhm.
that actually go into the master plan document? Or does it just take that stuff off the list and now you start with some new?
No, it would stay, because this will get submitted with our grant application, so they can look at it, and say, hey, yeah, look, they did this,
Oh,
to
okay.
show how being proactive
Yes, and it
Oh.
shows
help
that we
our
have-
cause.
Yeah, it shows that we have the drive and the ability to finish these projects. And
Oh.
So if they're like, hey, we're gonna give somebody money, we're gonna give somebody money that we know that's gonna get the job done. And that's why like other grants are asked, are you shovel ready?
Mhm.
I mean, it's gotta be 100% ready to dig. And so this is, for
So
instance.
if you notice,
Oh.
see this is in red,
Yeah,
so anything in here in red is the revision.
yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and then it just addresses every different park in the village, and it just, we're not necessarily changes that need to be made at all these other smaller parks.
And it's changing some of the priorities, because we've done so much up there, we're kind of shifting, we have to shift the priorities to different new things, because we, you know, almost completed it, like 2/3 of the plan 3 years ago.
Mm. And how were the percentages derived? Like, how would you know that 33% of participants use the park once a month?
Into the survey.
Is the survey from back then?
Yeah,
Oh, and that's what this new survey is for,
Yeah.
for going
Yeah.
forward, okay.
that's right.
Anything else I should be asking about this and before we vote on it? Since you guys know what it is, I didn't look at it. It's just talking about the new things that we're expecting to go forward with here in these regs.
Again, if you wanna wait,
If you want 2 weeks,
Yeah,
feel
we're-
free. I
we're
mean,
not-
I'm not gonna rush you into a decision.
exactly.
I don't see anything negative on it, but,
Do we have, is there anything in here about the naming of the road? You know how we had to rename the street going into it? Is that required?
I don't think it's in here. We haven't put that sign up yet. DOT's got back to us, so you don't have to follow their guidelines.
So now that we did this new survey, does this just get revised again in a couple of years? And shows whatever other new updates we
as our
made?
goals change,
Ah,
you know, and as we're applying for new grants for, say we wanted to do something up by 33 in that park, wanted to put a statue of former Mayor Shimino up there,
Yeah.
we'd have to revise it, yes.
The primary.
Thank you, Mayor.
With electric coming out of his fingertips.
Yeah. So the primary reason for the survey was for the park grant that we're applying for, and to show, that's one of the things, the requirements for that. They want to see community participation and a need.
And in 2023, it was vital when we got the first park grant.
Hmm.
So now we're applying for a second.
Ah. And the 150,000 project cost, that comes out of what fund? It says ARPA funds.
So that was already used, that was what the money was used to pave the track and redo the bathroom.
Ah, okay.
And that was grant money.
Yeah, again, that's, another, thing that landed just right, so we can get, so we didn't really get so much done. Just on our own budget alone, for us to have done a track, it would have probably
Yeah,
never
they
happened.
would do it.
The bathroom, it would have taken a lot longer. We never would have got it.
Originally, without the DPW guys, we would have had that grant money just go to the bathroom.
Oh,
Mhm.
and then who decided on things that got crossed off the list, like nature-inspired playground, no longer an option? That's the first,
Parks
Parks
Committee.
Committee decides that?
Yeah.
Based on the survey and the information they get.
Oh, okay. We just-
And a lot of the things that we did and completed were based on what people's wants and needs were through the survey.
Hmm,
That's kind of what
Okay.
made us categorize and prioritize the different projects.
Hmm, hmm. Okay, I could vote on it.
Okay. I will entertain the motion for the park master plan update.
I'll make a motion to accept the revised Parks Master Plan.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Pass. Okay. And then 26, 27 budget, what do we have on here? for
I just put that on there in case there was any more discussion, if any changes wanted to be made from the discussions.
Anybody have any comments about what we discussed tonight with the budgets? So, if-
I do have one.
Yep.
If there were things that when we go through Carolyn's analysis that we find,
Mhm.
and we're able to make, I don't know, whatever changes, is that gonna affect whatever we are proposing in our budget?
So I suppose it's possible, depending on, if there's something found that affects our billing.
And then it would just affect the 26, 27 year, and then it would change what we do for budgeting next year.
right, it wouldn't affect the budgets we're passing.
If we do find something significant, then we can always do a budget amendment.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the vote is scheduled for 2 weeks at 6:30. Everybody has it on their calendar. We'll update Bob with the discussion we had here regarding the budgets and see if he had any concerns. I guess the question, and I said to Jerry, we are gonna have comments, so have we posted that? Are we going to, we'll have to post that, correct?
Yes.
That meeting,
Mhm.
we have posted, or we will?
It will be done tomorrow.
Okay.
I want to wait till after today's, it'll have to be posted.
So we'll do another open meeting
Mhm.
for 15 minutes? and then vote.
Well, you don't have to.
You don't have to.
Because
Just
you
open
did
the
the public,
meeting.
you did the public hearing already.
Okay,
So, now, but if Jerry wants to come back,
Right.
has more questions.
exactly.
You know,
Okay.
The other part of it, we scheduled a reorganizational meeting for that day too. I'll send the packet out. It's the same that we do every year, that, with the reappointments
Mhm.
and how, procedurally, how the meeting will be run.
Okay.
The one thing I did want to bring up about that is on the agenda, privilege of the floor.
Right.
For many, many years, we did privilege of the floor just after the officers' reports.
Mhm.
A few years ago, for a resident kind of brought it up that they felt like it should be at the end, because then all the business would be completed, and then they would have to be able to have a say in, if this is whatever. So we kind of talked about it, and
Yeah.
then we switched it to the end again. But I just thinking that lately, there's been so many times where we've moved it
Yeah.
because of that.
Right.
So I just thought maybe we should just move back.
Because it gets people in and out quick?
Well,
Instead of having to sit here?
people come in and we move forward to the floor, forward for them, so, they don't have to sit here through the whole meeting if they don't want to. It's nice that if they would, if they want to, but,
So off the top of my head, I'm thinking that, knowing some of the concerns that don't necessarily have to do with the meeting in general, I will open early, but I will also inform, if I do that, or if we do that, that at the end of all agenda items, we will also open up the floor.
So have it 2 times?
What do you guys think? That's just off the top of my head. Just to say, look, if there's anybody here, and you want to sit through the whole meeting, and you might have concerns that aren't, like someone wanting to complain about something immediately, we're also going to have privilege of the floor at the end of the meeting.
I like the idea of having it at the beginning.
I do too.
People-
But Courtney's right, if they haven't heard all the information, we're going over.
Well, it was that, and you talk about all the topics, and then they, at the end, they're all coming out with questions. Yeah, what about this? Well, how are you gonna do that? That's why I got moved to the end.
Mm.
and it's hard because, we're informal
Yeah.
for the most part. So
Right.
people feel like during the discussion of new business, old
Right.
business, they,
They
ask
jump in.
questions. And if they
Right.
say, hey, can I ask a question?
Right.
Of course, you're gonna say yes, and then that can
Right.
whatever, so.
Yeah. But we'll think about
Yeah.
that. Next, with our organizational meeting, if you guys think about it the next couple
That's your
weeks.
call.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a few things at the organizational meeting, I'm gonna bring up as well. We gotta talk about the fire department and the pavilion's presentation of the plaque. And when and where we wanna do that, park days or another event or whatever. It'd be nice to have a crowd up there for people to have that done, so I'm thinking park days. but-
Park day would be nice.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best option.
Right, so so next week, or in 2 weeks, we'll kind of formalize that, if you guys are okay with that. We'll put that on that agenda as well.
Park day's 2 days this year, I believe. Friday night
Oh,
and
that's right.
Saturday.
Yeah.
They're having a band Friday night, the chicken barbecue.
So they're
What's
doing
the date of it?
June, is it the 13th?
June 6th?
There's a concert date on June
Yeah, I think-
24th.
June 6th.
June 6th.
First
It's coming
Saturday.
up quick,
Yeah.
June 6th is a Saturday. Is that what you just said?
yeah, but they're doing something Friday night as well.
Oh.
They're gonna do like a 2-day.
They got a band playing.
Mm.
Yeah, which is nice. And then for presentations to the board, I've asked Courtney to make, or I've asked the office staff to let the community know, like, next month we have Fire and Bergen doing their budget presentation, so I want that out to the community in case somebody would like to be here, to hear the budget proposal, and anyone else, like, that wants to come in and do some type of presentation. I'm gonna make that part of our open communication, try to get it in newsletters early on.
Yeah, put it in a newsletter.
Those kinds of things. So, I know they do their own presentation, to the community, but having it right here and walking up and listening to it, it'd be great. So having some input from the community would be good.
Has he contacted you yet, Courtney, from the school, to come here with a presentation?
Yeah.
It's May.
It's gonna be in May. So, the office is gonna start putting that out
Okay.
on our communication. And then the last thing, I've asked for a phone for the mayor. I typically wouldn't do that, but with the recent requests for FOIL information, it makes any communication that they FOIL available to people. And if I'm using my own personal phone for business, all of my information has to be FOILed. So I requested that the village purchase me a phone for village purposes and business only. Okay.
Who does the FOIL request?
We've been getting.
Anyone.
Oh.
Anyone, so
You're getting them like anonymously?
Courtney's gotten, since the electric rates things in January, he's been getting FOIL requests for information from particular residences. And if there's certain communications that are going on, that all is FOILable information that they request.
Oh, interesting.
If me or a village employee has communication, that information would need to be provided to that person requesting, and then all of the additional information that's attached to that in electronic device is FOILable. So if I'm texting with my wife, they'd be able to have that information. So I'm going to use, typically this wouldn't even be a topic, but given kind of what's been going on, I think it's a wise move, and it's really for my own protection. So there's going to be a charge. It's like $35 a month, for it. But I want everybody to know that I requested that.
Makes sense.
Plus, I work full-time, so if Courtney or anyone as an employee of the village needs to get to me, I will have it on me, and I'll be able to respond without, interruption. So just make sure everyone's okay with that.
Any information whatsoever that is village-related can be FOILed by, like, literally anybody in the world,
Yep.
and we're required to give it to them. So if they want my handwritten notes from this meeting, I've got to keep it. So everybody, you all have to be, cognizant of, when you get emails, you can't just delete them. You should have folders in your email. Something depends what it is.
Yeah, the junk ones you can.
The junk ones, you can get rid of it. Somebody responds, thank you, you don't have to keep stuff like that. But you have to kind of put stuff in, folders and keep them for a certain period of time. Even, your notes from here, can be foiled.
So that's kind of the reason.
If you have
behind
them.
that. If you have them.
Yeah. Yeah, we were not required by FOIL to create a record if we don't have a record.
Right.
But if we have a record, we have a document, then we have to keep it.
Are they asking, are the FOIL requests for certain topics?
So the most, I think Courtney's gotten maybe 3 or 4, and they've all been related to the electric.
Oh,
Okay. So not personal communications or whatever, but with the height of people and, and I've been on websites where the community has been discussing things. There's been discussion of lawsuits and different things like that. I need 100% protection for all of you and staff, including the mayor's seat. So that's where I'm coming from. Sound good?
yeah.
All
So
right.
for the budget vote on the 22nd, it's at 6:30, and we're not reviewing bills ahead of time or whatever they call them.
We could if you wanted to, but we don't.
We're just gonna open it up, and if there's no comments, questions, we're gonna vote, and then go.
Okay.
Theoretically, it should be quick.
Should be. And then we'll have a few, we'll be appointing Mayor Shimino, or former Mayor Shimino as Deputy Mayor Shimino, and then Courtney as our ongoing village administrator, and then any other appointments and things we need to do. So,
Okay.
good?
Yes.
All right, if there's no other business, so.
Entertain a motion to
Yeah.
close the meeting?
Are you making a motion?
Mhm.
Oh,
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Good night.